It's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Friday, May 27th. So we had the moon go void, of course, late last evening, and we will have the moon move out of that fiery, aggressive, semi-frustrated and angry Aries energy and into Taurus energy. This will be a good reminder on what it is that we went through just a couple of weeks ago when Taurus season began. So we do have the moon moving into Taurus energy at 2:23 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a relatively quiet day in the cosmos. There are 6 different aspects taking place here today, and 5 of them involve the moon. So shortly after the moon actually moves into Taurus energy, we have Venus, who rules over Taurus energy, who is currently in Aries energy, all fired up and ready to fight and advocate for what it is that she wants in her life, going into the boxing ring, squaring with Pluto. So if you listen to yesterday's forecast, you would know that we ended the day off with the moon getting in that boxing ring with Pluto, creating a whole frustrating set of not so nice emotions. Why? Because we need to be ticked off and fired up in all the right ways in order for us to see that a great change, a great transformation is 100% needed. Mostly where it is that we need to boss up and make sure that we don't slip back into old patterns and behaviors where some relationship dynamics are popping off and where they are trying very badly to suck us back into the past. Again, may I remind you, we are in a retrograde. So Venus, who is in Aries, is getting in this boxing ring with the god of the underworld, the great transformer himself, Pluto. So Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn, taking us on a trip back in the past to reflect and remind ourselves of all the times that we failed to advocate for ourselves, all the time we gave our power to someone else, all the times that we let our self-destructive and self-sabotaging behaviors get the best of us. Venus getting in this ring with Pluto is really fighting it out for what it is that she wants, needs, and desires, especially where her relationships are concerned. We've had relationships pop off, especially through eclipse season and retrograde season, because many of us are choosing to stay attached to people that we have no business being with. At this particular point in time, we are being baited by the dark force agenda through some of our relationship connections to try and pull us back through doors that we fought so hard to actually bust through. Venus in Aries is tired of the bullshit. She does not want to go back. She does not want to reflect. She does not want to rewind. She is tired of being second. She is tired of being the co-starring role in her own life. She wants to move on. She wants to take the leadership role. She wants to be aggressive. She wants to fight for what it is that she believes in. So getting into the boxing ring with Pluto, what we know to be true is that it's not going to feel good. They are going to fight it out. But emotionally speaking, sometimes we have to be uncomfortable. Sometimes we have to feel that pain, that trauma, that suffering in order for us to be motivated and inspired enough to keep fighting the good fight so that we don't end up going backwards. We have the moon bumping into Mars in not the nicest way. The moon now in Taurus is very low, very slow, has the blinders on, would tend to honestly just want to stay in the moment, stick to what is kind of tried, tested and true, what is comfortable, what is familiar. We're very focused on just feeling good. But this particular aspect, especially with Mars now in Aries, frustrated as hell because we can't be as productive and take as many actions and move forward as quickly as we would like. This particular energy could really fester us up in all the wrong ways. Why? Because the moon in Taurus wants us to slow down and smell the roses. And Mars now in Aries just wants to burn, baby burn, a path forward through the obstacles, through the blocks, through the challenges. We don't want anything to slow us down. We know what we want. We know what we need. We know what we desire. And we just want to, put the pedal to the metal and go after it. So this particular situation isn't going to feel good. And it's likely going to manifest in a situation outside of us that we have no control over, that many of us would like to jump into both feet, just ready to go balls to the walls and make a difference in the world. And emotionally speaking, We just aren't ready. This is going to create some anger and frustration. This is going to really trigger us in the impulses that we have, the urges, the desires, just to be done with this slow ass process, with this reflecting, with this, having to be carefully calculated and strategic in the moves that we're going to make forward. This is going to just frustrate us. The moon in Taurus is going to bump into Jupiter, who is in Aries, in not the nicest way, amplifying the earlier thoughts, the earlier emotions that do not feel good, that are festering up and creating a little bit of steam, of fire, of aggression within us. The moon and Jupiter, where the moon is in Taurus, just wants to stick in the comfortable little nest that we've made for ourselves. We just want to find stability. We just want to feel safe and secure in our emotions. Jupiter, who is the planet of growth and expansion, is over here in Aries, just magnifying where it is that we want to move forward, where it is that we are reinventing ourselves, rebranding our identity, where it is that we're not going to let blocks and challenges and obstacles get in our way. And unfortunately, again, we have 1 foot on the gas in this Aries energy, and we have 1 foot on the brake in this Taurus energy. So we are literally creating a bucking sensation in the car right now, because we do want to move forward, but we also want to stay just right here, just for a second, because we just need to find stability and peace and harmony and balance in the moment before we go willy-nilly trying to change things up and initiate and begin brand new cycles where we are just tired of letting the past keep us in a state of paralysis. We just want new experiences. We just want to move forward. To add to this, the moon in Taurus is going to bump into the sun in Gemini in not the nicest way. Again, feeding off of the earlier situations. Anytime we have the moon and the sun meeting up, we have an overlap of the old versus the new. And what we get is the present moment where we don't know what to do with ourselves. We have to consider the fact that the sun in Gemini is trying to shine a bright light on our options, on our choices, on our decisions, on new ways of doing things, new ways of thinking, new ways of kind of learning new skills, new talents, sharing our experiences, because of course we're a little bit more social and communicative in this Gemini energy. And the moon in Taurus does not want to have any part of it. We want to keep to ourselves. We just want quiet. We want stability. We don't want to think of the new. We don't even want to think of the old. We just want to find peace and stability in this present moment. And as you can see through the energy of the day, we just ain't finding it the way that we would hope for. We do have the moon bumping into Saturn in a positive way, which is going to help us out just a tad. The reason why this is positive is because Saturn, the Lord of Karma, he likes us to go low and slow. He likes to slow the progress down just to make sure that we actually learn the lesson, that we have a full perspective understanding of the life lesson before we go ahead and actually move forward. Now, Saturn is an Aquarian energy, very visionary, very big picture. And what we can use from this, although this Taurus energy doesn't want us really going too far into the future, what we can do with this is that we can break the big picture down and really focus on what it is that we actually have control over in the here and now. And to be honest with you, all we really have control over in the here and now is our thoughts, is our emotions, and how we choose to react or respond to all the events going on outside of us. The moon in Taurus with Saturn in this way is kind of bringing us back down to earth, slowing the roll to the pace in which the moon in Taurus is comfortable with, so that we do have time to stop and smell the roses, that we aren't so consumed with the past that we're living there, and that we're not so far projected in the future that we miss the pleasantries of this current moment. Now, what I will say is that we come back down to earth. There is a little bit more of a reality check going here. And this particular energy does kind of pump the brakes to all this Aries energy that, quite honestly, just wants us to get up and go, make up for lost time. It's a natural response when we've been stalled out and stunted for so freaking long. But we can't just act now and deal with the consequences later. That's an Aries trait. They just want to act now. We'll deal with the fallout later. Again, may I remind you, we're in the year of 2022. This is a year of building, of perfecting the foundations, our routines, our relationships, our money matters in our life, so that the dreams that we now have, that we're looking to manifest, that these foundations are actually going to be strong enough to house the dreams that we're looking to build and bring to life. And right now, all this energy coming from all of these signs and planets and, aspects in Aries doesn't care about the long-term plan, is only concerned about having fun, having the experience, doing something, taking action in the present moment. The moon in Taurus, not about that. Saturn, not about that. We're focused on the long term, which really does create a lot of frustration in us right now with all this Aries energy, because the Aries energy just wants to put the pedal to the metal and have the experiences that we're having in the here and now without worrying about the long-term consequences. That ain't going to bode so well for us. We do have to learn energy management. Lastly, we have the moon in Taurus, semi-squaring Neptune. A semi-square isn't the nicest. It's also not the worst. It is going to create a little bit of friction and tension within us. And I feel like the friction and the tension comes from the fact that, again, the moon in Taurus just wants to focus on the here and now. And Neptune being, the ruler of our higher self, our intuition, our dreams, our creativity, of course, is pulling us out of this physical moment of the here and now and trying to put us in la la land, an imaginary land for us to conjure up a dream and a vision of the future. So the reason why there's a little bit of a conflict here is because that moon in Taurus just does not want to think about the future, does not want to think about the past, just wants to find contentment, peace, love, harmony, stability in the here and now. So this little tension point is going to create a little bit of a cluster F in our emotions, because there is this mystical higher self part of us that knows that we have to be focused on the dream that we are looking to actually manifest, if there's even a chance for us to manifest it. And we also know that many of us are in physical circumstances right now that don't feel so good, but the moon in Taurus just wants us to find the silver linings, find the beauty even in the darkness. That is what shadow work is all about. That is what ascension is all about. So the little bit of conflict that we're going to have here is just the back and forth of trying to remain present, remain grateful, remain, in this state of balance in the here and now, while this Neptune energy is constantly trying to pull us out of the here and now in order to create and dream a bigger dream.